Logan Paul recently got into some drama again.
On this episode of IMO, we discuss if and why cancelled influencers deserve a second chance on the internet.
I'm assuming the cancellation was very justified. If it gets to that point, I do think you should get a second chance in life, but not as an influencer.
So you sincerely believe that there are some things, right, that make the person completely undeserving of a second chance in the same field. Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of In My Opinion. My name is John.
My name is Lester.
And yes, welcome to another 2023 episode.
Yes.
Is this the second?
Technically it's the third, but it's the second of this season, I guess.
What do you mean technically it's the third?
Because there was one episode that we filmed last year that spilled over to this year. So technically it's the third episode of the year. And the reason why John is saying very eloquently, saying very enthusiastically.
Yes.
Partially because ST is not here. She's sick.
Yes.
So wish her well. Or not, who cares? And we also
That's
have
her
our
imaginary head.
here.
And I'll push her down.
And also we have our social media platforms. And he knows that you guys have definitely subscribed to all of them. TikTok, Telegram, Instagram, Twitch,
yes.
YouTube, Spotify. Everywhere Overthink SG other than Spotify is IMO.
Yes.
And he sings well because he knows you have subscribed. And if you haven't, then
what are you doing?
Then what are you doing,
what are
man?
you doing,
Come
ladies
on.
and gentlemen?
Just do it. And if after today's episode you don't subscribe, I don't know what will, because we are going back to our roots of IMO. The roots of us talking about social commentary stuff and social issues.
Which means there's alcohol. Oh no, I know alcohol.
Going back to our roots of talking about social commentary and social issues, is a bit. It's been a while, so admittedly my brain is a bit blunt now, lah.
Same.
Right, so let's just forgive us for not being very coherent for the time
Exactly.
being, lah.
We're still suffering a little bit from the post-holiday inertia of last year.
Yeah.
And the new year fatigue of being working people.
Yes. And also the constant existential dread. And the reality of looking death in the eye. Yeah.
Because I don't know about him, but I'm much older this year.
Yeah.
Not 1 year older, much older.
And with that wonderful note,
let's get into it. Let's get into today's topic proper.
So today's topic will be about whether cancelled influencers deserve a second chance. And it's not so much about cancel culture. You know what? We talk about cancel culture enough, whether or not it's good or not.
Whole year.
You talk one whole year. The first year, we basically built IMO off cancel culture or talking about cancel culture. So whether or not you agree or not, that one, you know what? Old news already. Don't bother. Now we're going to talk about if you do get cancelled, do you deserve a second chance? And in what form does the second chance come in? So the reason why I was inspired to do this question is because of the Logan Paul thing. Do you know anything about it?
I know he's the one
that
has the brother that wanted to fight, that go do boxing.
Technically, they both do boxing, but Jake does boxing more.
Okay, then I know he's also the one that first got cancelled.
Yes.
When he went to a suicide forest.
And he filmed people.
And then he go and film dead body.
Yes. So that is the main backstory, I guess. For people who don't know Logan Paul at all, that was the first time he got cancelled. He was a very big vlogger, and last time he was a bit more, I would say, rambunctious.
Wow, interesting word. Boisterous. Yes.
He used to do stupid shit, essentially. And he went to a Japan suicide forest and he actually filmed an actual dead body, which was very insensitive.
An actual suicide victim.
Yeah. And it was whole bunch of things, and then he got cancelled for it. He lost a lot of following, he lost a lot of brand deals, etc. But he came back stronger. And honestly, I felt like he was on a bit of a redemption arc.
I have no clue because I never watched him before Suicide Forest.
Yeah.
I watched him during Suicide Forest because people talk about him.
Yeah.
And then I never watched him ever since.
I never watched him also, but then I keep seeing his podcasts and other things on TikTok and stuff. And recently, I feel like his content got to the point where I'm like, wow, this one particular video especially was really good and I really like it. And I was like, wow, and he seems a lot more mature as a person. So I thought he was on a bit of a redemption arc. Until recently, Coffeezilla did like a 3-part docu-series.
Who is Coffeezilla?
Okay, so Coffeezilla is basically like an investigative journalist on YouTube.
Okay, so he's another one of those exposed people.
Yes.
Okay.
But he does his own investigative journalism and he puts together like a year. I think
and
the
you
whole project
are subscribed to him.
I'm not, but that docu-series went viral.
Ah.
It's a 3-part series, and each one of them, I think all of them got like 4 million, 6 million views or something along those lines.
Okay. Because
And
quite in-depth lah.
in-depth, very in-depth, a lot of interviews, and he basically exposes one of Logan Paul's crypto project called CryptoZoo. And CryptoZoo is basically this supposed to be a crypto game that allows you to hatch eggs, and then based on that, like get some animal cards, and you can breed animals.
So kind of like the Burbot app.
But I said that's crypto.
Right. For those of you that don't know what's the Burbot app, right? You should join us on Twitch. Anyway, yeah.
Yes. And also, but I mean, I won't go into the full reason why it's a scam and everything. You can go watch the 3-part docu-series. It's very good.
So he got exposed as a scam via Coffeezilla.
Yes. But his conclusion, Coffeezilla's conclusion is that it's not anyone's fault per se, because it was not that Logan Paul did this all from the get-go. There's a huge team, and the huge team of people are all a bit shady lah.
Oh, shoot.
So all of them were shady. Everyone in that project was a bit shady, and it was just the right amount of shady that everyone just got
implicated.
Yeah, it just got messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And Logan, the reason why he did it and asked for accountability for Logan Paul is that even if Logan Paul didn't do anything wrong, I think he did.
It's like complicit lah.
It's not just that; it's also accountability, because you hired these people.
Right? Okay.
Like for example, a boss hires us and we do some stupid shit. The boss can go like, "Hey, not me."
Right.
Right? Like you hire him.
Right. So it's like the boss hired us.
Yeah.
And then we produce a piece of video that is racist.
Yeah. He can't go like, "Not me." It's them. As a boss, you have to have a certain level of ownership over the thing as well.
Yes.
And No Killer also said something. His face brand to sell the product. Exactly. So he used his own influence and the fact that he has a huge amount of following and people who listen to them, and he
as a springboard
for the project. So to a certain extent, whether or not the project goes well or not is on him. So he might not be 100% at fault. I don't think there's a percentage I can give.
Right.
But it doesn't matter. That's not why we're here to explain.
So essentially, to summarize, he ran a crypto scam. We'll never really know whether he was complicit in the crypto scam.
Yes.
But as a result, Coffeezilla is telling him to
be accountable.
Up. Right.
And be accountable for the things you've done wrong and the things that you could have done better.
Okay.
And then also refund, because people lost a lot of money, like life savings worth of money.
Okay.
Like refund these people because you didn't do it properly. There were problems.
Did he turn a profit from this fiasco?
Logan Paul? He has not sold.
What do you mean?
Okay, this whole crypto thing very, very, very messy.
Okay.
But basically, the part of the reason why Coffeezilla or people think it's a scam is because before they release the tokens to everyone else, they bought a certain amount of tokens before. So like there's a pre-sale. And then they all decided to not sell, basically hold it until a certain amount so that the market stabilizes and they can sell at a higher profit. Which is, by the way, if you do it in stocks, it's illegal because it's market manipulation. You can't do that. Because that means large people will just come in together and go, let's just hold this stock and we all sell at once. And just crash this whole thing. Or like they will be able to get better, more money. So this is market manipulation, but then in crypto it's not, because it's not as regulated for now lah. So they did this weird thing. Basically, I'm not explaining it very well. Not gonna lie, not explaining it very well.
Don't worry.
I think the nuance is lost. But
I get it. I get the big picture idea that you're trying to say here. Okay.
But I'm quite sure maybe I've used it's called insider trading. Yeah. Not market manipulation. Insider trading. So that's the law against it. But because it's crypto, it's a bit iffy.
It's unregulated.
Yeah. So sorry if I use certain things wrong, certain terms wrong. Forgive me.
Don't sue him.
Don't sue me, please. And but mainly, please go and watch the video so that you guys know a bit better. But the main point is not really about whether or not you feel like Logan Paul deserves to be cancelled or whatever. I think the main point is that now people are starting to re-cancel him or like try to hold him accountable. And also the another thing that made it worse was that he issued a response video to Coffeezilla's videos, and it was terrible. It was like denying all responsibility. And it was like shaming like a lot of people lah, basically. So So basically it was not handled well. And people, because of that, people are like, oh my god, like Logan Paul, let's cancel him and everything. And it made it even worse that he did a bad response video lah.
He actually put out an apology.
He didn't apologize.
Then
he
put out a video.
He put out a video saying that like Coffeezilla
was like psych
was lying and he was like purposely not okay. Maybe lying is a tough word to use. Like purposely
Slandering him.
removing certain facts to have his own story, and he was not showing off the true. Basically, questioning his journalistic integrity. And everyone else is like, "What in the world?" Then everyone's like, "You're not taking accountability for the things that you could have controlled." Sure, not everything is under your control, but as a boss, you should take accountability for some things. And because of that, a lot of people got very angry and basically cancel even more lah. He has lost 1 million subscribers ever since this whole thing.
How many did he have in the first place?
I have no idea.
Like,
But
is
yes,
1 million actually impactful?
okay, let's say
You know,
you have
if you're
20 million,
PewDiePie, right? If you're
that's
PewDiePie,
5%.
you lose 1 million, right? Come on.
But PewDiePie is
if
like
you're
what?
Mr. Beast, right, and you lose 1 million, come on.
Mr. Beast is like what, 50 million? No?
I thought it's like 100 plus million.
Okay, let's say it's 100 million, it's still 1%.
Come
That's
on.
quite a lot lah. He lost 1 million in like days.
Okay, fair.
So this is still an ongoing saga. And it was gotten to a point where he even threatened to sue. And then it got so bad and everyone's response was so bad that and Coffeezilla said he's going to respond to his response video. And right before that, he took down the video, he apologized and said that it was rash and he'll drop all the lawsuit
Who is
threats.
this?
Logan Paul. He took down his own response video and said it was rash, I apologize. I should not have reacted that way. I will take away all the lawsuit threats. I'll upload a better response, taking accountability for
And
this.
has he done that?
He has not uploaded the second response. And that
Oh,
is where the
shit.
story stands.
Oh,
So
shit.
there's a lot of shit going down
That's
now.
quite a lot of tea.
There's a lot of tea. We're not going to go right into it because John is not very caught up on it.
I am not, and I'm just interested in the tea, even though I'm
Yeah.
not like involved in it.
And I don't think I'm also the best key opinion leader because even though I watch all the videos,
Wow, key opinion
I haven't-
leaders, you'll-
I haven't really delved in depth into like the exact like laws or certain things or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. Everything I'm saying is just my first impressions watching certain videos.
Yeah.
So, but basically he's gonna get cancelled again.
Yeah,
Or
for
he
sure.
is getting cancelled.
It already sounds like he is on a slippery downhill slope.
Yes. So it is not looking good. It's not a good time to be Logan Paul.
Yes.
But this
Once again, right?
and it's the once again that got me thinking.
Mm.
He has been cancelled before. And he got back up and people gave him a second chance.
Yes.
And he went about and did this.
Yeah.
Does that mean that we should stop giving second chances to influencers?
Okay.
To be influencers again after they get cancelled?
Okay. My preliminary thoughts. Okay?
Yes.
It's very straightforward.
Yeah.
I feel that why we give people second chances,
Yeah.
right, is because we believe they have learned their lesson,
Yes.
right?
Correct.
So that is the base rationale,
Mm.
right? Although these days, right, it's easy to get misconstrued with the thinking that I've gotten my vengeance, so now they can live again. It shouldn't be the case. It should be, you've learned your lesson, we give you a chance to
Yes.
live.
Yes.
Right? So like, if let's say there is an influencer, influencer, right, who commits an error, makes a mistake, does an apology, absolutely they should be allowed a second chance. Because if you do something wrong, right, you must be ready to take the L.
Yeah.
Right? If you take the L, that is a clear indicator that first you realize you're wrong and you potentially will have learned your lesson. And the internet, as much as it's a trashy place, right, it's also a very lenient place.
It is.
When people know
It
that
is.
you are taking the L, more often than not, people will be like,
Hey, come
okay, I think he has learned their lesson.
Mm.
You know, even though there'll still be haters who'll be like, oh, fuck you, right?
Yeah,
But at least there'll be a number of people who'll be like, thank you for apologizing in a timely fashion as well. Because
Yes,
apologies must be timely, right? You cannot, I cannot like punch you, right? And 3 years later, then I'm like, hey, you remember that day, right? 2023 January, right? I punched you. I am so sorry. Bullshit,
But
right?
then you got trauma already.
It must be
Go therapy
timely.
already.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must be timely and it must be sincere. So
100%.
if that is executed well, right, then I don't think the question should even be influencers. It has to be everyone.
Yeah. Okay, so here's the thing. How does the second chance manifest in your mind?
So if you're talking about influencers per se,
Yeah.
I feel that second chance should be allowing them to step back into the public eye without being prejudged completely. So
Okay.
prejudgment is something that like you can't control one.
Yeah.
Right? You instinctively do it.
Yeah.
But you can control how you react to it. Because when you're prejudiced against someone, it's very easy to just like, oi, what are you doing here? Or like, what the heck? Why are you back? You know?
Yeah.
Or who are you?
Mm.
But even though you might still hold those thoughts, because you accept the person's apology and you're giving them a second chance, maybe you stay your hand.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You may not sway the thoughts, but you stay the hand. And I think that is how the second chance for influencers should come. Because,
Okay.
like, for example, why I say this second chance is important, because we're always assuming that the influencer second chance is also their second win online. No, right? It could be their daily life because they are influential enough and recognizable enough. They go down to the coffee shop. They don't want to be singled out for no reason, right? We have this presumption that, like, we're talking about coming back into the public eye. May not be the case.
Yeah.
Right? The second chance or whatever, right, could just be like, after this, they learn the lesson, and as part of the learning lesson, they decide that social media is no longer for them. They also must be able to go out, be recognized, and not feel threatened.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that like I mean, if you want to talk about like the whole like yellow ribbon project or like like giving second chance to people who were once criminals, like it's the same thing, right? They should, after they have served the jail time, they have obviously repented and stuff. We should be giving them the chance to reintegrate back into society. So I agree that they should not be judged or like people like, hey, isn't that the guy who? I think I agree, but should they be allowed back to be an influencer?
This one I cannot give you a good answer. I feel like
what's okay. I also do think it depends on the severity of the crime.
Yeah, and how the turnaround was done.
Yes, I agree. So okay, my opinion is that by and large, okay, I'm assuming the cancellation was very, very justified.
Yes.
I'm not talking about like you said something a little bit wrong that one time.
Yeah.
And then like you have to apologize for it. That one I don't call it cancellation. This one's cancellation is like of like fucking like hell came onto you and it's like minus 2 million subscribers, that kind of cancellations. I think if it gets to that point, I do think you should get a second chance in life, but
not in the public.
Not in as an influencer.
Social media space. Oh, interesting. Okay, I am undecided on this because my answer is dependent on how they respond. I feel like the response to it, if the scandal is large enough, right, has to come from one of understanding and without the expectation of forgiveness. I think the problem is that a lot of times when people try to re-engage with social media after they really messed up, right, they come in with the expectation that like they should be forgiven.
Oh yeah,
which is a sense of entitlement that like is undeserving even for someone who is faultless. You know, and I think that is the biggest issue because we have experienced so many of these kind of social media personalities with that kind of attitude, right? It has colored the view of every single person. So like, for example, talk about Logan Paul, right? I do not have a better example, but if you talk about Logan Paul, right, everyone probably already just thinks of him as entitled asshole stirring the pot.
Exactly. Yeah. Unfortunately, right?
So like if he's not able to get past that, which based on your very brief explanation may or may not be correct with his first response, right? Yeah. The first thing he do is to try to be defensive, right? Then that is where it is also an indicator to the larger society that maybe he hasn't learned his lesson.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I mean. Yeah.
And thus, he shouldn't deserve a second chance. Can you imagine if the video come out straight away, right? Then he was like, I'm sorry for not addressing this earlier, right? But I was maybe like the truth, you know. Maybe I was actually dealing with it and trying to process payments or whatever, right? And that's why I haven't made a response. Here's my explanation, and I'm sorry to those people that I've hurt. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
you know, it's handled with a certain level of class, right, and decency, which I think is what people want on the internet. When like someone make a mistake, right? It's not like they like of course we're not talking about the extreme haters.
Yeah.
Majority of the population are people who follow popular sentiment. Which is where I mean all of us, you know, are subject to it. When you see someone do something wrong, right, you just want them to own up to the wrongdoing and clarify things that they didn't do wrong.
Yeah.
And then after that, clarify things that they didn't do wrong, right? Without discounting the things that they did.
Yeah, I agree. Like still take accountability for whatever they did and apologize properly.
Exactly. And like most of the time people are not humble enough to do that.
Yeah. That's the reason why they get cancelled most of the time. Like why Logan Paul.
And then they never come back from it or something like that. I don't know. You know, but maybe Logan Paul might be forgiven again. Who knows? I don't know. But like that's the determinant, I feel, for whether they deserve a second chance on social media. Because if it's handled in a timely fashion, handled with class, and handled in a way that you they can go to bed at night feeling like they've justified it to everyone with no one coming up to them and giving them constructive feedback. Right? I'm not talking about emotional outbursts at them, but constructive feedback and hey, actually you could have done this better. Then they haven't done their level best. You know? If someone can give you
trying to rehabilitate back to
then if someone can tell you that you could have done this better, you could have done this way, and then you should immediately do it because your first thing in your head should be like, as an influencer, I fucked up, I apologize, and I also fucked up. I didn't cover all bases. Let me continue to do that.
Yes, I agree.
And I need to get this done before I hope to move on.
Okay, I do agree with that thought process, right?
Yeah.
For by and large, most quote-unquote crimes, they're not actually crimes. Like quote-unquote,
let's just call them wrongdoings.
Wrongdoings, like transgressions or whatever.
Yeah.
Like most of them, I agree. Like, for example, if we say something wrong, we would apologize, and then if for example we apologize well and people think they're like, hey, they seem like they understood it and whatever, then I will understand that, like, okay, then we deserve a second chance. But I would say there are certain transgressions, right?
Yeah.
That no matter what you say.
Why do you think that way?
Okay, for example, or rather you should deserve a second chance in life. Maybe not at the same job. For example, if let's say, this is going to be a very bad analogy, but like just follow
give
the
the bad analogy.
Yeah.
For example, let the internet judge you.
For example, if there's like an animal caretaker who got outed for abusing animals, right? And then he apologized. He said like, oh, I got like whatever, got a lot of bad things in my past or whatever. I'm going through therapy now. I'm handling my anger management now, whatever. Would you still want him as an animal caretaker?
But like, if they are able to be rehabilitated and cured,
I agree.
And they are passionate about animals,
I feel like
should they not still be allowed to?
I feel like they should be allowed to do other things in life. Because you have gone through this and you have improved as a person.
So you sincerely believe
that
there are some things, right, that make the person completely undeserving of a second chance in the same field. Damn.
Certain things.
That's fierce.
For example, like let's say if a teacher.
Yeah.
Like you well, this is gonna be very dark, but like let's say like emotionally or physically abuse a kid.
Okay.
A student.
Okay.
I don't give a fuck whether or not you have learned your lesson and you have truly repented.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be the teacher of my child. What?
But like,
true? Is that not true?
No, that's true. But like, you see, this is I feel that this is where we cannot be too extreme about it. Right? So like, there'll be two very obvious school of thoughts. Yeah. Right? One would be, no way. You don't deserve a second chance. One, the other extreme end of it, which I'm not trying to say I am of that idea of, right?
Yeah.
Right, is the everyone
should deserve a second chance. Yeah.
But for me, in my head, I am somewhere in between. In the sense that, like,
you see the person.
It depends on the circumstances, you see. If this person, like, I give you an example, maybe a better example is someone who has recently been in the public eye.
Yeah.
Do you think that we simplify the question even further? You don't even need to be particular professions or particular realms, right? Do you think that someone like Jeffrey Dahmer deserves a second chance?
At what? At life?
At life.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I do believe if you have improved as a person and you have learned from your mistakes, you deserve a chance at second life.
But the difference here is, right,
100%.
if you're afraid that a teacher might abuse a kid, right, why is the same fear not applied to Jeffrey Dahmer who can kill anyone?
Oh, that's true. Like, he can just go about randomly and during the day, right?
Right. His relapse, I feel like his relapse, right, is worse or if not same as a teacher who abuses a child.
Wow, okay. Second chance at life, as in like...
So why one deserve a second chance and the other one don't?
But the teacher one is in that specific profession.
Yeah.
So you are trying to say that Jeffrey Dahmer fucked life up, full stop.
Yeah, correct.
It's not just fuck teaching up, full
exactly.
stop. Okay.
So does that mean that Jeffrey Dahmer don't deserve a second chance in interacting with other people?
Wow. Wow.
You get where I'm going with this, right?
No.
And this is what I mean by there is no... I disagree with both extreme answers. One is no, right? Which is the current justice system, right? We take things away, and one of the things that they take away is life, right?
Yeah.
But I'm also not saying that, yes, everyone is redeemable, you know? It really depends on where the person is at. And my solution is that they are undeserving until they're
proven
rehabilitated. And this rehabilitation is something that is sorely lacking in society. Think about it. Okay?
Yeah.
if let's say you talk about the teacher,
Yeah.
right? So there has to be a point where the teacher proves the track record is now clean enough to continue. But during that point, right, it cannot be like, no, you're no longer allowed near kids. You know? It's like a probationary period that criminals have after they exit jail. Right? There should still be like a hyper-vigilance, hyper-accountability stage.
Yeah.
And I think this is what we need for all things, same for influencers. So if influencers truly cherish their career,
yeah,
and are truly people who have rehabilitated, and are truly people who understand their mistake, there will be a period of either hyper accountability, or they'll do something about it that matters and works for them. If they are not bothered or whatever, right? Then there is also a clear indicator that they are not ready to re-enter the arena because they want things to go back to be the same.
I get what I mean.
You know?
Okay, I think another thing is that like maybe you view like these transgressions as more of like a product of environment, or maybe product of maybe like just a bad mental state or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not a permanent trait.
Yeah.
It's always like a transition.
Exactly.
Like more transient thing, right?
Yes.
But there'll be some people who view it as a more it's more of like a trait. Like,
and that those are the people, I agree with you.
Yeah.
And that will mean that those are the people will never fully exit the vigilant, the being surveyed stage. Right? Which means they can still continue to do. But if we follow that train of thought, the logical conclusion is that they will fuck up again.
But then we also as a society don't want to wait to the point where they fuck up again.
No,
right?
so they won't fuck up again, you see, because we are watching them. So while they are being accountable, while they're being watched, right?
Yeah.
The potential to fuck up, right?
Yeah.
Or not, right?
Yeah.
Is quite balanced. But if they are close to fucking up again, it also becomes very clear.
Do you think Jeffrey Dahmer? Okay, do you think Jeffrey Dahmer as by the way, people who don't know who Jeffrey Dahmer is,
Jeffrey Dahmer
is serial killer.
Serial killer, yeah.
Yeah, but quite fucked up. You can watch the Netflix show. The serial killer. Do you think if he was rehabilitated and everything is normal, that he should deserve a second chance in life outside the prison system?
Yes.
Okay.
But this is where it gets the trickiest, because this is why most people say when you have a moderate or centrist way of thinking, you got no opinion. That's not true. But like, because these things sometimes, right, are so intangible you cannot measure. There's no way to gauge. Right? Which is why our pattern recognition's animal meat brain, right, monkey meat brains, will think like either they are bad or good.
I agree. I think what I'm catching myself in a bit of a loop or like a bit of a conundrum is this. So I agree that like if I say you are an ex-criminal or you have done jail time and stuff, you should 100% get a second chance in life, and no one should judge you for your past.
Yeah.
I mean, there are plenty of people who are big advocates for that, like Simon Boy, Luki Chan, all people who have done jail time and now amazing inspirations to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So I 100% agree that they should have the chance to do that, and you should get the chance to have a second chance in life. But at the same time, I'm like, wow.
No, I get
it's
it.
a difficult thing. I'm not talking about criminals. But I'm like, okay, maybe because I'm thinking of the extreme like Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the extreme like animal abuser.
Yeah. But who's to say where is the line we draw?
Exactly. That's my problem now.
Who's to say where we draw?
Correct. Like, who's to say that this crime is bad enough for me to not ever forgive you ever again?
Exactly. Which is why I love that our title this time around is whether they deserve a second chance. The fact that the word deserve is there, right, feels like there is already another person judging another person. Right? Which is like, I actually don't really agree with that.
Okay.
Because everyone deserves a second chance. It's how we handle each other to help them earn that second chance that is sorely lacking. We almost dystopian if you think about it, because it doesn't exist. We still rely on our monkey meat brains to decide whether a person deserves something or not. And for something as precious as like a second chance at their career, right?
Yeah.
You know, that's where it gets really tricky. But if you ask me for my metric, which is what I told you, if they're able to come back as a different person, be hyper accountable until the point where people can forgive them and move on from it, right? The people they've hurt can move on from it, right?
Yeah.
Then they truly have earned the second chance that everyone deserves.
And I'm assuming the bigger the transgression, the more they have to do lah.
So it will hurt like hell because, right, the longer it takes for you to come back. But the fact that it is comebackable, right, which is why you brought up people like Liu Ki-chan and all that kind of thing, right, is purely because of the fact that it's comebackable.
Like you have to give them a
you
chance.
Have to motherfucking. It's like I give you an example, even simpler example. Okay, let's say you stole money from your parents when you were a kid.
Yeah.
Right. To reach a point whereby they don't think you steal money from them anymore, it's gonna be way longer than that moment you stole the money. So there's no instant gratification in this. Same here. To earn back your second chance to be on social media, you need to have done so much good or so little bad. That people think that people welcome you back. Because the thing about it is that if you want a second chance, you need to earn it. And they welcome you back. It's not like you want to be back, you back. That's the main thing here. So Jeffrey Dahmer is a good example because there's a very far extreme, take human lives, right? And in fact, a lot of heinous crimes, right? So how long do you think this person they might take their whole life and don't ever come back and still don't deserve it?
Yes, I agree.
But that's not because they don't deserve a second chance, but because they haven't earned it back yet.
Okay.
For someone like Logan Paul on the internet, if they want to be an influencer again, right, they can come back into the public space, but they have to earn back people's trust. And then they must earn for so long to the point where people move on from it. And most of the time, if people are serious about earning back people's trust, right, they will stick through it one. But most of the time also, people who are not right will not survive the test, will not survive the flames of people's forgiveness, of seeking forgiveness.
It's like you have to dig your way out of the well, right? But because of the
you have to claw
and
lose all your fingernails, and then most people are like, I'm not bleeding for this shit.
And then they just don't do it. Which is, or maybe the well is too deep to the point where like no matter how much you try, you can do it your whole life and you'll probably never reach it. But the fact that there is an end, you could technically still get out, should be a given.
And a changed person who has fallen into a deep hole, right, will be focusing on getting out of the hole. For as long as it takes. Because they recognize that the hole is a bad place to be. But the problem is now we have to balance between enabling that and people who also they are haters that will continue to wish you stay down. So it's about whether you make it or you break.
100%.
Right? Because a lot of times with enough discouragement, right, people who are in deep places don't ever get out. Right? So like I said, there will be people who will spend their whole life trying to earn back where they are standing, right? But never make it because either their crime is too heinous or they just do not have the strength of character.
And maybe even like that, I guess there's a society that might not even give them the chance. Which is the whole reason why the Yellow Ribbon Project even exists. Because there are they can be working their fucking ass off, right? And
that beat down is real.
And people, and if we don't at least trust them a little bit to get to the point where you say like the vigilant state, right? Like there's no point in them like doing anything.
That beat down is damn real. So that's where the, like for example in Singapore the Yellow Ribbon Project, that is to balance out the unfairness. Because there still has to be justice. There still will be people giving you side eye. But it must not be the point whereby it beats you down. Because that means you will not be able to properly earn with the appropriate equity your second chance. Because here's the thing, right? People always think the second chance. People always think we give second chance is like today he offend, tomorrow you give second chance.
I got it. No. Yes, okay.
So maybe you spend 1 week offending people. You spend 10 years earning that back, for example. I give you an example that's close to home, which is what I wanted to bring up about. So instead of talking about influencers, let's go to something a little bit more applicable to our society also, so the context is also right. Right? Do you think, right, that Raisha Khan deserves a second chance in politics?
In politics specifically?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm gonna answer that with another energy because I was gonna bring this energy up. Okay, maybe I think my opinion maybe changed a slight little bit. So I would say, like, for example, if you fuck up your job, right? I say I fuck up my job at TSL. I got them sued and they lost a lot of money. And then they fire me. Rightfully so, right?
Of course.
I don't think I deserve a second chance in TSL. But I deserve a second chance other people, other places and other companies. Maybe media, maybe not. but another place definitely not TSL. You know what I mean? So in the same vein, I would say Raisa Khan, sure, deserves a second chance in politics. Maybe not in Workers' Party. You know what I mean? Like, might not even
No,
be fucking PAP, who
like
knows?
to reiterate what she did, basically she got kind of exposed with a little bit of integrity.
Yeah.
Right?
But I do, if
And she basically
has,
since then disappeared. Wait,
If
anyone knows where Raisa Khan is?
if she has proven that she's more trustworthy now and she's learned her lesson and a different political party believes that she will not do the same mistake again and thinks that the benefits that she brings to the table far outweighs the potential cons, sure, I think she deserves a second chance.
See, that's the thing, you see.
Yeah.
So like I agree with you because it would mean that they have to work.
Yeah.
And that this person will still, after being accepted by a political party, it still needs to be accepted by the citizens.
That's no, but
So this person may spend their whole life trying to earn this second chance.
Yeah.
To the point where there are only two conclusions.
Hmm.
They either earn it back or they give up. Right? And the second one, the latter, unfortunately, is more often than not more likely.
Yeah, I agree.
Because when you earn people's ire, they are a lot more unforgiving. But at the same time, that's where how you come back from it really determines the next part of your journey.
I want to go more upon the firing thing.
Yeah.
So the reason why I brought up the firing analogy is also
You're about
because
to get fired.
am I? Brand? No, but oh my goodness, the air just came out of the pillow.
Yeah.
That sounds disgusting. Please don't. Oh no! Okay, the reason why I brought it up is because I view Logan Paul as an influencer getting cancelled or whatever, or any influencer getting cancelled as akin to getting fired in a company.
Fair.
So maybe not being able to work in the media industry ever again is a bit too harsh. But if you get fired from the company, you should not be able to get back to the company. Yeah, bro? It's like Sylvia got
have to learn. You have to go through the long road, lah.
to the same company. I don't think you deserve a second chance at the same company.
Really?
No. Do you? I mean, technically, Steve Jobs got a second chance at the same company, I guess.
I believe people will have a second chance, but hear me out, okay? So like, why people always say that like it's not worth it to go back? It's not because they don't deserve the second chance. It's because the road to get back,
It's too high.
is too long when there are other options. So
maybe.
like, in a very roundabout way, if you think about it, if the world was 100% moral, right?
Yeah.
Them choosing not to work on the second chance, it's an immoral thing. Right? So if you get fired from a company for doing something bad, right? And then you don't ever go and earn it back, right? It just goes to you just suddenly add on to the statistic of how cutthroat the world is.
Oh, okay, I get what I mean.
You get what I mean, right?
Yeah. Because it's not technically you don't have a second chance, it's that you didn't even bother trying to get the second chance.
Yeah, because of the nature of the world, which of course sometimes we have to follow, right?
Yeah.
Because of the cutthroat nature of the world. If you spend the rest of your life in poverty trying to earn your way back into the trust of the company, that's not a fulfilling life.
Okay,
But
that's true.
That is talking about that particular circumstance, you see?
But
not
it's not
all
that-
jobs have that level of, not have the same nuance.
Okay, yeah, I agree. So it's not that they don't deserve lah. It's more of that they just probably wouldn't because there's
Which
other.
my suspicion is what happened to Raisa Khan.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think she deserves a second chance in life lah.
It is.
100%. But okay, maybe deserve is a very difficult word to wrap around because like when you say you don't deserve something, it is a very, very harsh thing to
Yeah,
say.
no, but at the same time also, because if we truly expand our horizons, right, what we're talking about here is most of the time career.
Yeah.
And career is but one aspect of the person's life,
Yeah.
right? If the person chooses the path of give up instead of get over,
Yeah.
right, how much of their life is being lost? Depending, right? Depending on what career and how impactful it is on your life. More often than not, if you talk about influencer, not big at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I heard Ludwig say this before in the video. He said that he believes that if you get cancelled, you shouldn't, or like you do something really fucking terrible, you shouldn't be able to come back as an influencer. And he said that it is not that big of a deal. Like everyone makes it sound like it's a huge deal that he's no longer influencer. No, there are other influencer in the world. The influencer world or streamer world, whatever, is very small.
That's exactly
and there are a lot
point.
of other things in life that you can do.
Exactly.
And and everyone deserves a second chance in life to continue doing your things, but he doesn't believe that you should be able to come back as influencer as if you did nothing.
Yeah, no, exactly. You cannot come back as if you did nothing. You must have gone through that gauntlet of earning everyone's trust back. Right? But more often than not, Ludwig is right. Life is a lot more than your social media presence or your career as an influencer.
Yeah.
So more often than not, people will either come back in a very shitty way, right? And sometimes they make it, sometimes they don't, or they give up.
Or like Eden Ang, apparently went to teach tuition.
Yeah.
I don't know. Allegedly.
Or he give up, or they give up. You know what I mean?
I get me.
So like recognizing how small cancelled career is in the grand calculus of the multiverse, in the grand scheme of your life, right?
Yeah.
It's also growth. So sometimes, as much as we expect them to come back and right the wrongs, right? The world is not so idealistic, right? We have to bend to the whims of the world.
Yeah, 100%.
If your career is only 45% of your life, which is a lot, but not the majority, then maybe at some point you have to decide whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah. I would say, okay, you know what? I think that's a very good wrap up actually. Because, okay, my final thoughts are this, all right? I would say that everyone in theory deserves a second chance.
Yes.
Right? And but how much you have to work for it depends on how badly you fucked up.
Yeah.
And I understand, and to be honest, me saying that is a bit like it took me a while because like my initial response, right, to certain crimes, especially, tell me Jeffrey Dahmer, right? My initial response is that no, he doesn't deserve a second chance. Like, just straight up. But after I think about it, I'm like, okay, do you know what? He does in theory, just that the hole he has to climb is just fucking deep.
Yeah, he may never climb out of it in his lifetime.
Good chance he probably won't.
Yeah.
Like, good chance he probably won't.
That's the thing.
Yeah, but he does deserve a second chance if he managed to climb out of that well. And also, I would say, getting cancelled is akin to getting fired from a job. You can technically go back to that company after getting fired if you really like improve yourself a lot and you are a changed person, right?
Yeah.
But good chance. You probably aren't doing that.
Flip that in your lifetime. Yeah. Probably not.
You probably won't do that. Go and do another job. Or like go and find something else to do as a media. Like for example, like Sylvia got cancelled and now she's don't know what she's doing in another media company.
Yeah.
She's still doing media. I still believe that she should have the chance to go and earn a livelihood because if not, that's cruel.
Exactly.
So of course she should be able to work and use her expertise, whatever. But should she be able to come back and just do NSC as if nothing happened?
No lah.
She has to earn. If she wants to do that, she has to earn it lah.
Yeah.
So same for influencers.
You have to start from lower than scratch if you fuck up, by the way.
Yeah, correct. So you have to, if you fuck, it's really just if you got fucked up, if you got fired at your job, to go back to the same job, you have to like work doubly hard. I don't know how to explain.
If you fuck up in any aspect, you have to start lower than scratch, earn people's forgiveness, earn people's trust before you even start at base level. So straight up, you stack the odds against you. But I agree with everything you said, and my final concluding statement is very simple. Only.
Yes.
I agree with everything you said except for one thing.
What thing?
You said that you mentioned at the start that in theory, people deserve second chance?
Yeah. Everyone deserves a second chance.
I say in fact.
Okay.
Everyone deserves a second chance. It's just that there is a balance of a lot of things, right? You have to balance whether the person individually have to balance how much they want to earn back people's trust, whether they want to right the wrong more than whether they want to go through the gauntlet of suffering or whether it's not worth it. Yeah. Both are fair.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Second one is also deciding for them what is a meaningful life. Because if this thing is 45% of life and then you're able to see that even if it's 49.99% of your life and then you realize it's slightly less than majority and then they choose to jettison it to better themselves, that's also fair, you know. But if they choose to dedicate their energies to earning a second chance, right, we as people who might be involved in it for influencers, for example, we are allowed to be harsh, but we cannot be cruel.
Yes, I agree. Yes, 100%. Like you of course you have to, because they hurt you before and they have
You can doubt them.
You can doubt them, yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like not giving them your basically cannot be. I think don't
Just
be
not
cruel.
to be cruel. Because I think
that's the good
I think
way
to
do it.
explain cruel, right? Cruel is one of those very interesting concepts that sometimes you don't need to explain one.
Yeah. I
When
don't know how else
you-
to explain cruel.
When you're being cruel, right?
Yeah.
I feel a part of you knows it.
Yeah.
You know that you are stepping on people.
Yeah, I was trying to paraphrase cruel, but there's no other way. I
Yeah.
think that's the best way to put it. Like, don't be cruel. I think that's
Right.
that's a good way to put it.
Especially to people who are actively trying to earn their second chance. Being cruel to them is the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, I agree. Is there a final thought, John?
That's my final thought, man. Simple shit.
It's been a tough episode. 45 minutes of. I used my brain for this
I
a
also
lot
got
more
it.
than I thought.
My brain lighted up brighter than I expected.
Yeah, you know what? We should do more of this episode.
Maybe, yeah.
It's time to bring ST on for this whole episode. I wonder how she's gonna react also.
She will sit there and, wow, my head empty, no thoughts.
With that, guys, hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode of IMO. We are hopefully going to get back to this kind of more social commentary stuff. The reason why we haven't, partially, is because most of the topics, whether or not you believe it or not, we probably have talked about it in one form or another, which is why we don't feel the need to rehash certain themes and stuff.
And now with the pandemic coming to a stable plateau,
Yeah.
all the dramas coming back.
And maybe we'll go back to it. We're trying to cover more international news also.
Yes.
And hopefully, you guys will stay along for the ride.
Yes.
Thank you guys so much.
At least watch next week.
Watch next week. Watch next week.
Yeah, thank you everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Stay safe. Don't get COVID. Don't meet ST also. She apparently got COVID.
Yeah,
See you
apparently.
guys next week.
Shun.
Bye-bye.
Bye.